We have the man of the hour, is Swix himself. He is joining us live right now.
He's putting out fires.
Oh, What's going on? The fire's going on?
Instructing my video production team.
He's saying, come over,
what
quick.
we want them to do, because a big part of how we generate or keep the momentum going is we post the videos immediately after.
Let's
Nice.
go, dude.
So
Okay,
we're not done once
out.
the conference is done. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Talk to us about that speed, right? Is that from you guys? Is that like, because we're talking about, our business is like the speed of content.
Oh, you are
making
live
sure
streaming.
things are coming out, right?
You're even more live than we are. We do live stream every conference,
Yeah.
obviously, but I think the clipping and the video production afterwards is something that we're trying to get better on. You guys obviously have to do that a lot for your line of business. I don't know. It's just like, you just gave a big talk. You want more maximum impact, and
Definitely.
we're in the services business for our speakers, and it also does serve our audience because they want to have those clips as conversation pieces to take home, to talk to their coworkers and all that.
Definitely.
Let's talk about the event. Let's talk about AI Engineer. We're in London.
Yeah.
We were at 10 Downing Street this morning.
How was that for you guys?
Dude, amazing. We had such a good time.
We walked in
Thank
the
you
front
for-
door.
Incredible,
I
right?
couldn't believe it.
They just
Did
let
you see
you
the
in.
cat
Yeah,
as well?
The cat, yeah.
I
Larry
saw the cat.
I didn't realize that
That's
they
the name
reached
of the
out
cat.
as well. So cool.
Yeah. I think that's very special of the UK government.
It really is.
To prioritize engineering and to show that they're interested by having a booth and sending speakers. The UK Chief AI Officer, Kalbir Singh, is coming tomorrow to do one of the closing keynotes.
Yeah.
And I love that. I think that a lot of tech is very insular. We serve our needs, and we serve like white collar jobs and high wage jobs. But really, it's the elderly, the disabled, the people who don't have access to basic government needs that probably, it takes like a day of one of these guys to just go work on that. And you could save, so much money for people, so much improved quality of life.
Yeah.
I mean, like the conversations we were having in there were all around like how fast the government is moving internally around these things. The fellowship, for example, in like specifically, the pace at which they can move, the expertise they brought into the house is just like phenomenal.
Yeah.
So a really good experience there. And then I guess events so far. What are the highlights? We're on day 2.
Yes.
We've got another day tomorrow.
Yeah.
We've seen the photo of you in the 11 Labs booth. We had Luke Harris on earlier. It looks awesome. How was Michael Caine?
Michael Caine, I mean, what a voice, right? And, I can't believe that he just gave his blessing to be
So
cloned
cool.
like
Yeah,
that.
look at him. Yeah.
So I love that voice. I love the 11 Labs story in general. I think it shows how Europe can have its own champions of AI and be very non-consensus in like, well, you all boys in San Francisco think text is everything, but what about voice? And like you actually can build a massive business in voice. And I think Luke, when I met him, he had just joined as head of growth, and I definitely underestimated Luke and what he can do at 11 Labs.
Yeah, that guy is pure.
Yeah.
I was saying he's probably like top 3 AI growth related.
Oh,
roles
easily in the world.
globally.
Yeah.
He's a machine.
And I mean, there's more. We have Neil Zargador, who is CEO of Gradium, out of Paris, and they're doing really good speech-to-speech models. And there's obviously DeepMind and all the other crew. And my goal was just to feature as many of those leaders as possible.
Definitely.
Embedded in our logo up here is the European Accelerationism logo.
Yes, EACS logo.
Yeah.
I saw that earlier. I was thinking,
EUAC.
is that EUAC?
EUAC.
Yeah.
And we want to be on the side, or we want to be the conference for EU accelerationists, right?
Let's go.
Because one thing I do see a lot is people who are afraid of AI want to regulate it, and that's all well and good. But you also need the other side of like who's pushing the capabilities and the frontiers.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I think that's what inspires people to build more, and we need more builders everywhere in this region and around the world generally.
Off the back of that, then talk to us about the importance of having Google DeepMind as I think it's a headline sponsor.
Presenting, but yeah.
Okay, presenting sponsor.
They were our dream sponsor, and then we got them, and it's all well and good. You can't be an AI conference in London
Yeah.
and not have DeepMind.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
you're right.
The big poll I was hoping to feature Demis Hassabis, of course, but ironically he's in San Francisco right now.
Damn it.
Classic.
We didn't get the
You'll have to do it next
travel.
year and, like, block it into
Well,
his time.
someday we'll get to him.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think obviously with the book coming out that you guys interviewed Sebastian.
Yes.
That I think there's a lot of excitement about the potential of DeepMind to take the lead. They obviously have every card stacked in their favor.
Indeed.
And even the concept of who's leading, who's falling behind, maybe it's not the right one, because there's definitely a tier of frontier labs, and they're all producing models, and we want choice.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's the beauty of AI engineers as a concept, is that I'm sort of fostering this industry where it is industry neutral, it is not beholden to any one model lab, and everyone benefits from more choice and more innovation and fierce competition among the model labs.
Yeah.
And that's something that I was kind of thinking when I started this in 2023, but it's now really true that the AI engineer is the chief beneficiary of all these models competing for each other.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we're talking about sort of like competing, talking about like benchmarks. Within that, we've been discussing Mythos a lot in Orange.
Yeah, I tried
today.
to poke Pete in the AMA that I just came from to talk a little about Mythos. He didn't rise to the occasion. He has this OpenAI minder, like kind of shooting darts if he says something.
poking through the bug.
What about it?
Well,
yeah, I mean,
like thoughts,
it's too dangerous to release. What's sexier than that in AI?
Yeah, well,
Let's
this,
go. I love
but
that.
that's really interesting, though, right? What's more sexy than that? Like, is it like, is that hype? Is that like a marketing thing? Is that like?
Okay, I actually would, if I'm friends with Anthropic, obviously. I actually think they're too good at marketing. I think they're overdoing it. I think just let your competence shine through. They're extremely amazing. It's a beautiful model. You don't have to be so dramatic as to say, some of the stuff there. You don't have to produce like a 5-minute polished video of the CEO of every security company on earth saying you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, you're good. Just be confident and calm, and just like, this is the model, and here's what we're releasing. And I think people will be calibrated now. I think there is a broader agenda, maybe in the context of U.S. politics, or in the context of OpenAI's IPO, that they're playing multiple levels in terms of the public perception game, and it is not just about model capabilities anymore. It is about the public perception.
It's narrative, right?
Yeah, the narrative that they're pursuing. So, far from it for me to advise them on what to do, but I do feel like the people who care about just model training and benchmarks and using them in their products, there was a little bit too much marketing buzz around the drama of like, oh, my Mythos just texted me while I was eating a sandwich.
Yeah, broke out the sandbox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
too much.
completely aligned.
Okay,
on that.
fine.
Completely aligned. Can we talk about the step change in like SOTA performance? That previously we've seen maybe the percentage increases have been between like 1 and 3. This was a step change. This was a leap forward. What does that mean for the space in the industry?
Expected. And so Destiny is hardware, and more a new generation of hardware like the Blackwell's coming online, and then the Vera Rubins in the very near future, and the sheer amount of investment that has gone on, as you guys have covered, in the billions and billions and billions going into the data centers, means that as every data center comes online, it's reliably expected that within about 2 to 6 months afterwards, you'll get the next frontier model, and it will be a step change. This is scaling as it has always been, ever since we got the scaling religion. And so in some ways, I think this is just normal to be expected. It's not surprising that it jumps 20% in Sweetbench Pro and all those things, which is maybe too cynical on my part, right? Like, we should actually take a step back and go, wow. But you'll be less wow if I told you that, okay, well, every other model that you've evaluated was a 1 trillion parameter model, and this is the 10 trillion parameter model.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to be 20% better on these things. Like, yeah, you draw the lines. This is how it works in AI. Scaling laws are a thing, and I think anyone who pays attention to the longer picture and is not getting buffeted by the day-to-day headlines, understand that they reliably follow hardware upgrades, and the roadmap of the hardware upgrades, right? Like, OpenAI has charted out the specific path going from 200 megawatts to 2 gigawatts last year, and going up to 30 gigawatts, right? So the kind of models you get from 2 gigawatts of compute are going to be small in comparison to 30. and that will come online, and then you get the models reliably out. So this is almost like predetermined that this is going to happen.
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
look at the numbers,
it's almost
you
like
can
the right
extrapolate.
time as well, right? Like, did you feel like it's like this the natural time for this thing to happen?
It is perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Every time we just run it out just enough for people to start saying, oh, we've hit a wall.
Yeah.
And then the model labs just go, nope, like we still got some
New
more
frontier.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have been podcasting the whole time, so you probably missed it. But Elon has just announced their model training runs. They're training
Oh, no way.
a series of models from 1 trillion to 10 trillion on the new SpaceX cluster.
I saw him leak. Yeah, so
didn't see
he
that.
kind of listed out where they were. I think 10
Yeah.
trillion parameters model was the last one.
And this is a mathematically, like, they spun up their new data center, and
Yeah.
here it is training. Like, it's completely predictable.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting. So in a way, if you know the numbers, you can see the numbers there. You can extrapolate out, and you can sort of
Hardware
almost
is destiny, right?
Yeah.
Like, so this is why I think the worker semi-analysis is that important, because they just have satellite pictures of the hardware going up.
Fine. Yeah.
I didn't know they were.
Do the math on the orders, and then you take some normal trajectory lines. I think it does. That is not to say that is the only determinant. So a very famous conversation over the past year was the failed training run for the 4.5/5 run at OpenAI, and so that does happen. Those are hundreds of millions of dollars wasted when it does happen. But you have to take some risks,
Yeah.
Very, very
absolutely.
big buttons to press.
I get something that's coming up. Like, what are you personally most excited for in the future? What can we expect from AI Engineer? Anything that you're working on right now?
Yeah. Those are three very separate, different things. So obviously OpenClaw is like talk of the town. They've just they're 5 months old. They've just completed a huge run and now landed in OpenAI. And I think personal agents will be a big theme of this year. Not only about 50% of the audience is using a claw, and it probably should be closer to 100.
Yeah. Especially at an event like this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just think about if it's 50% here, what about in
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even, I think.
And we use I consult for Cognition, and we use Devin to vibe code this conference and run this conference. We have a claw effectively running AI Engineer, and it absolutely has replaced me hiring a human. And I do think like people should be up to speed on like using agents to do knowledge work.
Yeah.
So last year was the year of coding agents. This year is the year of sort of knowledge work agents that are powered by coding agents. The first example of which was OpenClaw. But there will be many more. We're going to hear examples from those that I could pick out. The other thing I think Pete takes a lot of the air in the room. But actually, the other example that I like to put up was Ryan LaPopolo, who was the other keynote from OpenAI this morning, who's been exploring the dark factory, where you just have massive amounts of agents, not only creating code, but also reviewing code, so no human is involved in the process, which is absolutely bananas to even people like Pete. I'm actually almost hunting for insane people who are using AI in creative ways, because they're a glimpse of the future, right?
Yeah.
The last conference I did, AI Engineer, I featured Steve Yegi, who was a creator of Gastown and Beads and all that. And he has a little bit of LLM psychosis, but he's been consistently right, like 3 to 6 months ahead of the pack. And that's all we do is we just try to isolate the trends that you should be paying attention to. So harness engineering, OpenAI Symphony, that's the team that Ryan is in. It is completely obvious to me that it is in the conversation now. You guys probably haven't spent that much time on it. You will be in 3 to 6 months.
Wow, that's something we can look forward to. Yeah, it's interesting. You mentioned just quickly, I guess we can round up the show. I know you've got places to be, you're super busy, but the AI psychosis moment, I was looking on X the other day, and I saw a review of Mythos, and people are now, their approach to that was I think this is my personal psychosis moment. This has kind of just completely consumed me, and I'm sort of not terrified by it, but I can't stop thinking about it. Is this going to become more common, as this starts to integrate into our lives more?
The phenomenon of psychosis in general.
Well,
or mythos obsession.
There's so many things going on, I guess.
But the fact that I think that he's using it in a way where he's saying that this has consumed my life, and this has created I'm just so I can't stop thinking about this thing. But as it starts to infiltrate our lives in every single different aspect, I think of my family members, for example. If I gave them an OpenClaw, their minds would.
Yeah. Have you?
I've not.
You have-
no.
yeah,
I've
My
not.
parents still can't get over the fact that ChatGPT exists.
Yeah. So there's different layers of adoption for sure.
Yeah.
And it is a bit worrying. People are worried that adoption is at different rates. Like if you're already biased towards adopting quickly, you're accelerating in your adoption, whereas people who are biased to adopt less are not accelerating.
It's like the concentration, right?
Just
You
the
can see.
disparity is going to be
Yeah.
extremely huge.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's not really our responsibility. Psychosis will happen. I think that it is a temporary phenomenon. I think that technology advances. One of my favorite quotes is Alfred North Whitehead, where it says like civilization advances by the number of operations that we can do without thinking about it. Right? The more things just fade into the background.
Yeah.
And just, of course, that's how it works. What do you mean, right? Of course, my Waymo in London it drives you from point A to point B, and I don't have to know anything else about it. It's just an Uber without a driver.
Yeah.
To me, I can't wait for that moment when AI becomes boring, that you don't get psychosis out of it because that's how it works, and that's how it should always have been. But we happen to be living in this beautiful moment in history when this is being birthed. And who knows, it could take 100 years and we might not live to see the end of it. But it might be 5 years. We might see all of it. So it's a beautiful thing to watch. I think I would basically just say people to not worry about getting into too much psychosis. I think if you have a sort of diagnosable mental issue, then yes, seek help. But otherwise, enjoy. We're in this beautiful liminal state where people celebrate you for having psychosis and going too far and wasting money on LLMs. And when else would you get that in a hype cycle, right? So absolutely go into it, embrace it, get crazy. I do think one of my favorite quotes from Pete about starting OpenClaw was that he runs it with madness with a spark of science fiction. And I think it's the rough quote.
Yeah.
And I think people actually are not crazy enough. People maybe in Europe especially too sensible, too much worried about the downsides of the safety or the regulation, and to truly live in the future, to truly make the future, to truly push the boundaries, you have to be a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that's a great way to end. I think.
Yeah. What's just quickly for the rest of the day? Obviously the live stream is going on.
Yeah.
What can people look forward to? Where can we plug people to watch it?
Yeah, all videos released for free on YouTube, youtube.com/ai.engineer. And for the attendees, really it's just the hallway track, right? We actually did announce a hallway track this morning where attendees can put up talk proposals and they speak tomorrow.
Right.
And I really like that. I'm really about building engineering
really
community. Cool. We leave tonight open so people can organize. There's about 13 different side events organized by the community around these things. And that's the formula that we've arrived on, which is just create space for people to make their own sub-communities, because this thing is going to be way bigger than I can ever support.
Yeah.
But my role is to curate the content that goes on, decide what trends that I would really like the community to focus on, and then see what happens from there. People.
Right.
I think at my speaker dinner yesterday, I was saying, my proudest statistic is that there's at least one marriage that has resulted from AI engineer, and so we're contributing to at least the declining human population.
Let's go. I love that. Well, look, thank you so much for the invite.
Yeah, thank you for coming and joining us as well.
No,
It's been an absolute pleasure, man.
Yeah.
We've had a blast.
Big supporter of what you guys are doing.
Appreciate it.
Likewise.
Good stuff. We'll see you soon.
Cheers, Wix. Ciao.